Well, hello there, Minecrafters. We're back in Diversity 2 with the developer's commentary with CFG. What are you doing?
Um, it's a new map
This
I'm
is a new
making.
map. Right.
Invasion of the rose bushes and stuff.
Invasion of the... Okay, you know
It's a
what?
great
Let's
title.
go...
Don't judge. Don't judge. It's a great title.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't judge a map from its title.
Okay, well, I'm going to the
By its
branch.
title.
So this episode, we are going to be talking about the puzzles mechanics. And this is actually a fresh map. Haven't... This is not the last one we're recording it, so you just gotta run over to the slime block puzzle, because that's what we're gonna talk about first. Ah, yes, this one. What do you think? What was your idea behind this? Let's go into a little more depth of this one.
So in the lore, it says that the greenhouse Professor Orange can't shut this water off,
Uh-huh.
and so my thinking behind it is, there's this puzzle that the player has to complete to get the mirror plate
Right.
out of this room. And basically, I have to turn all of these to slime blocks to absorb the water.
So why did you pick slime blocks and lamps?
Uh, well, one, because there's a lot of contrast between the two, so they're very different looking blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and that's to emphasize that this is a block swapping puzzle.
The
Um,
classic block swap and sort of lights on
yes,
type puzzle.
and
Okay.
also because I like this effect that when you press the button that's above a lamp, the lamp turns on for a second.
Yeah, you know how many
I thought that's
people tried to solve it by getting all the lamps? So
yeah.
many people. It's broken. It's broken. Uh, okay. Well, anyway, let's show them how this works. All right. So here we are behind the mansion. This is the first part of that puzzle. There, you can see this spawner goes on and off when the person gets in range, and that is just so we don't have a clock running on 24/7. But what it does is it sends an XP orb way over here and activates this clock. So right now this redstone dust is, there we go. So CFG just stepped into the room and it activates that clock. And if you step out of the room, CFG, you'll see it will shut off. There we go. And that's just to sort of save some lag and help the computers. But what we're going to do, CFG, if you hop in the room and start pressing buttons, this is the commands of them all. So what we're doing, you see the pistons move up there. He's pressing a button, and he has these tests for blocks. He's actually testing for a button that is pressed in at that location, depending on what they are. This first portion, ColdFusionGaming actually came up with. I just changed the commands a little bit back here. But you can see what it does. When he hits it, it pops a redstone dust into a hopper. Here, hit one twice so I can see. Yeah, hit that one more time. Watch, it shoots in, and then it comes back from the hopper, comes back in there. Just to add a little pulse signal to this piston. So hit that one again. There we go. And you see that push ahead. And when all the buttons are in the right position, all of these, there we go. There we go. So all these redstone blocks get set there and set off this AND gate sort of thing. And then it destroys the dirt block in front of there and also removes the water because that's part of the lore and gives you that mirror plate. Down here we just made some particle effects. Instead of it actually breaking the block and changing that, because I had an LP where they were getting extra blocks, and I didn't want them to get all these extra blocks for nothing, so I had to actually fake it and make it particles. But that's kind of the slime block puzzle. I revamped it just a little bit, but yeah. So maybe we should head into the redstone puzzle. That was pretty complex.
Yeah, I see what you just did there.
All right, so here we are in our theater room into the third tower, which was sort of a love it or hate it, because Redstoners love it, and people who don't know anything about Redstone hated this thing. Why the redstone puzzle specifically?
Well, in the last DevCom episode, I discussed how each tower represents a certain element
Mm-hmm.
of an adventure map,
Right.
and this is the puzzle tower really.
Yeah. Now
And
they're specifically redstone circuits though. Any reason they're that and not like the slime block puzzle was a little bit different than this.
yeah, it's really redstone puzzles are something that you don't really see in adventure maps that often, but they're kind of the classic Minecraft puzzle.
Yes. Yeah. I thought they were really well made. Like I didn't do any of them. CFG made all these puzzles. So first one here, let's just quickly kind of we don't need to really show the solutions, but idea behind this is what is it, an AND gate, I think?
Yes, this is an AND gate.
Okay, and basically you just have to put both these off, and then you can light up this one torch. So, um, I guess that's sort of teaching the player the first bare bones of this type of circuit.
Yeah, and it's surprising how many players struggle just to get through this first puzzle.
I think it's because they don't read the actual torch and say what you can do with it. This one here, though, this is the one I see them. They have no idea what this is. Why don't you explain what
Yes,
this
so
is right here?
this puzzle, the second floor was made to introduce a new redstone mechanic. So
New,
in
new.
this the new redstone mechanic here is the repeater lock,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have trouble with this one. But
Hmm.
once you get through this puzzle, the third floor isn't as bad. So you realize this is a repeater lock.
Well, the thing is,
Really,
it's
this is
not
like an
new. It's not new though.
it's one of the newer redstone mechanics though.
But it's been since 1.5. Like I can't believe people don't know what that is. But I guess
Yeah.
there's a lot of Minecrafters that don't play with redstone.
So this puzzle, the third floor, is just a glorified version of the last floor.
Right.
It's nothing
Right.
too special. It's a bunch of repeater locks all in a row.
It looks
You just
more
need to get the
difficult than it
signal through.
actually is.
Yeah.
But once you figure out the other one, it's fine. Okay, this one here, we got to show them how the legit way of solving this is because
Yep.
so many people thought it was go downstairs, get the extra lever, which is fine. You can do it that way.
The way it was intended to be done is to use the torch burnout trick, which is if you turn a torch on and off enough, it will burn out if it wants to work. But here, there it goes,
Yeah. Then,
and then you can just flip that one.
there you go. So totally legit. You don't need to do that.
Oh, well,
Oh.
you made it up.
Yeah, I did. Okay, and then the last one here, which looks way more complicated than it was. What was your idea behind this? To confuse them?
Really, this isn't a puzzle. This is just a fancy way of getting the mirror plate.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be intimidating. You know, you got up to the final floor. It looks really complicated and scary, and then you just flick the lever,
Yeah.
flick it again,
There
and
you go.
that's it.
In your plate. Okay. So here we are outside. This huge section here is completely useless. This was a test for block stuff I was trying to work before EntityData existed. But all that happens in that puzzle is there's a clock that turns on when the player walks through the room, and when they leave the room, it turns off. The clock is testing for redstone dust if it exists, or a lever if it exists in the floor, and it adds a scoreboard and it changes it to a special item. And the reason we need to do that is because in adventure mode, we can't place or break any items unless they have custom NBT data. Now, I remember when you first came up with the puzzle, you were going to give it to the player's word of honor and say, no, you're not allowed to place it on these things, but too easily cheatable.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
then you came along.
I said they're going to cheat. We're not going to let them cheat. We're going to make it so hard for them to cheat. Anyway. But I have a video, I'll link in the description, that gives more detail about this. But basically, that's the puzzle right there, these 6 command blocks. Well, this is the clock, and these 4 here. It just turns off and on if they enter the room or not. Okay, how are we gonna talk about this? Oh
Signature
boy.
rosebush.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's gonna be in every
Um,
scene except for the redstone puzzle and the last one and the one before that.
okay, so here we are with the new rose bush in here that CFG so graciously put into the new version of the map, apparently. Um, oh, while I burp, I'm going to redo that. So here we are on the laser puzzle, which we mentioned before. I think this puzzle is so brilliant. So many people loved it. Did I say redstone puzzle?
This is going well. Take
Mirror
4.
switch. Okay.
Hang on. Hang on.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Take 4. Oh, it doesn't.
Oh
No.
goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, here we are. Take 5 doing this. This is the laser mirror switch puzzle. Everybody loved it, and everybody should give a high five to CFG because that's his
Woohoo!
brainchild here. Yeah, loved it. But how it's working here? Why don't you press the buttons and basically I'm going to show you the commands, but we've got a fill command here. Then it does a test for block. And depending on whether you have that stair there or that stair, whatever location it is. Yeah, where'd it go? Anyway, it will send it to the... I think I hit that right at the same time. There
Yeah.
we go. It'll send it to a different direction. So I'm going to show you back there what's going on. So what we have here is I've marked out all the stairs to have the direction, and there's a test for block below them. You can see there it goes. There's the signal that CFG's hit. And what it does is it's got the comparator and a test for each one, and it takes that separate path. So can you reset it and hit that again? And you'll see there it's taking this path, and depending on where it goes, eventually it hits this block. So it goes through all this. You can check this out on your own. And it will actually fire a redstone block over to the solution, which is over here. So just to show you how that. Oh, he just did one. He just did one. Turn to clay there. And inside it has some particle effects, but this is quite condensed from what it originally was. I can't go into too much detail for the sake of time, but if you follow the path after the comparator, there's a test for, and all it's doing is playing some note blocks and doing the fill command, and then it's actually erasing that. Basically saying that that command never happened so that we can reset that comparator, and then it wants to do another test for to see where it's going to hit. Basically, there you go, all the way over there, and yeah, a little complicated, but hopefully you can kind of sort it through. Just follow the comparators. One here, let's see, then we can go this way, and then it can go that way or that way, and so on and so on. And when it gets to the stained clay, it activates these here, and then when they all get, there's another one, and when they all get off like this, then it has one torch left on, and then it will test for the player inside the beacon, like so. If they're there, they'll teleport out through these repeaters here that are timed with the sound. So, yeah, it's a little complicated. I don't know if he has that all set. There, he just set another one. I think I can manually do this last one. Let me see. Let me see if this sets it off there. There we go. And then CFG, why don't you step inside the beacon? There we go. The clock's activating. He's going to get teleported through, and there he goes. He's on his way.
Oh my gosh, there's a missing block.
How dare you? Now we got to talk about what everybody wants to know. How on earth this happens. Which was kind of a... I didn't expect it to be like fancy, like people think it is. But yeah, it's actually supposed to be... It's not supposed to be a shower. It's supposed to be a broken shower because in the book that you wrote, you said the plumbing's not working. So I'm thinking if you actually...
It looks kind of broken to me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kind of weak,
because
isn't it?
if you turn on real plumbing and it trips like that, you'd think I gotta call a plumber. But so this is what's happening in behind. Um, let's see. I did this quite a while ago. I have two tests for blocks, and they're testing to see if that block there is clay or redstone. So if you go press that button there, the lamps are just there so we can see. But there we go. It changed to redstone and actually turns that hopper clock off. If he presses it again, it'll change to clay and turn it on. And all it does is do a drip lava particle over there. Very basic. You can check out the actual commands. If you break through the map, there's nothing that can stop you from going creative in this section. If you press the cold one, same sort of thing. There we go. Change the redstone. Turn off the clock because it pulls the item into that. It's a slab for some reason. Into that hopper clock. Turns it off. Presses it again. Changes it. Lets the hopper activate because there's no redstone on it. Redstone block on it, and then it does the same kind of thing. Drip water, drip lava, in a particle. So under here, it's just testing for each one, and it does an active fill command here that will test them at the same time, and only one solution can be made, and then it switches that block. That's basically how it works. So it's kind of like a soundless. I didn't want a piston thing because it makes a sound, but it's basically kind of a T flip flop. Not really. It's an on-off switch with a button that doesn't make any sound. All right, orange dimension. Here you go, Professor. Throw it in there.
Why, thank you.
Is that what he sounds like? I never imagined it. And dead. Yeah.
And we died.
Oh, you added him. Goodness gracious, flower pots and everything. Okay, you know what? You do the honors then this time.
Very well.
So CFG, any final thoughts?
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having you. Yeah.
I call Adventure Branch of Diversity 3.
Oh boy, don't even mention that. Goodness gracious. I didn't say a thing.
You have a lot of people asking you for it already, right?
No one's asking me at all.
No one.
Well, anyway, yeah, and CFG will be back. You'll be back for the survival episode. And there's got a lot of awesome textures in that. That was really cool for visuals and everything. But thanks everybody for watching. And everybody gives a thumbs up for ColdFusionGaming, one of the best builders in Minecraft right now, and he's semi-retired, but he's got a whole backlog of maps. We'll put your website in the description.
Yes, backlog of updates.
Backlog of updates.
Many updates.
He's updating all his maps, which I never do. I don't update my maps to 1 point whatever. It's crazy talk. Okay. Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the DEVCOM for Diversity 2.
See ya.
Wow.
That was a great outro.